Hello there, and welcome to the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Big glass of water, I hope you have. That's good water. I'm going to take some deep breaths. We're breathing, we're relaxing, we're hydrating, we're envisioning good stuff for the day. Why? Because you're listening to the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Welcome, everybody. It is, what is it today? I don't know. It's Wednesday, April 27th. So this may actually come out today. It depends on if I get to edit it all today. A busy week or 2 weeks in the life of James Arnold Taylor. I'll fill you in all about it, but welcome to the podcast. My name is James Arnold Taylor. The show is called Talking to Myself because it's me in a little padded room talking to myself and all of the characters that are in my head that then come out of my mouth. Like Hank, our engineer. Hank. Hey, Hank.
Hey, JAT. Hey. Hello. Let me check that microphone. Hello.
Would you stop that?
No, I was just testing, make sure the microphone is on there and working good.
Yeah, but anyways, we don't need to get into it. We do it all the time. Every week, you come on, you bang on the microphone. I say, stop that. It's a little routine we do.
Yeah, we're like the Cabot and Stanello.
Abbott and Costello?
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they say, who's on second? And he says, the first baseman.
No, that is not it at all. It's who's on first, what's on second, I don't know, is on third.
What do you mean?
Well, that's the bit.
So who's playing first?
Exactly.
I don't understand you at all.
That's the bit. I do that in my stage show, which, you know what, Hank? This last weekend I wasn't here, and I can see you were using my studio when I wasn't here.
Yeah, I come in here and I watch the clonies.
The Clone Wars?
Yeah, you got them all in there, so I watch the clonies, and then I say, oh, I like that. And then the Obi Shnobi comes in, and I go, oh, yeah, that's JAT.
You do?
Not really.
Okay. Well, okay, so Hank, I was away with my clonies castmates this weekend. That was pretty exciting. And I'm going to be with them this weekend as well. So last weekend and this 2 weekends in a row with some of my favorite people in the world.
Boy, you're lucky. I had to stay here with Billy.
Hey, now don't be. So Billy is the engineer. The engineer. Billy should be the engineer. Billy, I've noticed, Hank. By the way, you're the engineer of the show, but Billy does more than you with all of that. He's usually, I see through the glass. He's the one doing the sliders and the hitting record and doing all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm teaching him. I'll make it, but he doesn't do it right because my coffee was a little lukewarm last time.
That is not what the point of an intern is.
Well, then what is it?
It's to learn. So Billy is the show's intern. Billy, in fact, hey, Billy.
Oh, yeah, yes, Mr. James, sir. Yes, I'm very glad to be in here. I'm very glad to be interning for your show.
So, Billy, you are a young man ready for the world, and you want to get into voiceover like everybody else on the planet at this point.
Well, I suppose so, but I feel like as though I have an advantage.
You do? What is that advantage? Your dulcet tones?
I don't know what that means.
That's dulcet tones. That's your voice.
Oh, yes, well, I think I do have a pretty good voice for voiceover.
For specific things, Billy, you could be huge. You could be great. You could do a lot of kids shows and stuff. You have that very youthful sound. You got that little crack in your voice and a little crackle. And I think you have a possible future in voiceover.
Oh, really, Mr. James, sir? That's very nice of you to say, Mr. James, sir. Could I give you my demos and then you could give them to your agent?
Whoa. Okay. Easy. Now, my agent Franklin. We haven't talked to Franklin in a while. Should we talk? Maybe we should talk to Franklin. Should we give him a call?
Oh, yes, sir. And then you can ask him if he would listen to my demo and all.
Okay, that wasn't actually what I was thinking, Billy, but we could try that. Okay, so let's give Franklin, my agent, a call. He's my voiceover agent. He, books me on things, and sometimes his son, Brian, is there, and Brian is not the biggest fan of...
Hello?
Oh, hi, Brian.
It's Obi Nobody cares about Obi, nobody you.
Okay, well, that's very nice of you to say.
Wasn't trying to be nice.
I know. And that was the point, is that I knew you weren't.
Whatever, dude. What do you want?
Why do you answer your dad's phone? Yeah, I call your dad all the time, and it's his cell phone, right?
Maybe.
Okay. And you answer. Why?
I'm his secretary. Don't I do an awesome job?
You're his secretary?
Yeah. You got a problem with that?
Well, I do when I call and you're mean to me. I'm a client of his. You should be, happy to hear from me.
Whatever, dude. Do you want to talk to him or what?
Yes, please. I would like nothing more.
You're no Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor's going to be now at Celebration, and you're not because you're a loser.
Okay, well, thank you. That's right. Yeah, I heard that Ewan McGregor. It's funny, Brian. I was at a convention myself this last weekend. I was in Kansas City at Planet ComicCon, and it was pretty cool.
I bet it was cool, but I bet they were like, why do we got this loser here?
No, they were very nice to me. They let me do my stage show there. I signed with Ashley Eckstein, Matt Lanter, Phil Lamar, all my wonderful Clone Wars castmates there. We got to see my dear friend Tom Kane. It was a lot of fun.
Dude, you should be doing a podcast about it or something.
I am. I'm trying to. I was just calling your dad to let him know about how the show went and everything.
Oh, and don't forget about my demos.
Yeah, okay, and Billy's demos. Yes, all right.
Hey, Billy. What's up, dude? You're cool.
Thank you, Mr. Brian, sir.
Just Brian.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever, dude.
Cool.
Cool.
Wait, you got a rapport with Brian. Okay, whatever. Can I talk to your dad?
Nobody.
Yeah, okay, all right. He's going to be at Celebration. I'm not going to be at Celebration. It's going to be a big thing for him. I'm very excited for Ewan McGregor. It's good for Ewan McGregor, right? No, it's good for the fans to actually have a chance to meet him.
Yeah, dude. I'll be there. I'll be totally rocking out, hanging out with Ewan McGregor and be like, dude, that loser dude that did your voice can't even do a real British accent is lame,
Okay, thank you.
You don't even say the words right.
What do you mean?
I mean, I look at the things on the socials, and you're all lame. Some people are like, dude, that dude stinks.
Well, yeah. You have to deal with good and bad in life, Brian. And sometimes some people, don't like you, and that's just the way it is.
Like me.
Right. But I still like you.
Whatever.
Okay. Can I talk to your dad?
Yeah, hang on. Dad!
What?
Dad, it's nobody.
Oh, let me talk to him.
No, here.
Don't give me... No, would you stop?
They're always fighting over the phone.
How are you, darling?
Franklin, I'm very good. Why is Brian your secretary?
Oh, I know he's terrible. What are you going to do? It's hard to get good help these days.
Yeah, especially for free, I bet.
Oh, no, I have to pay him.
You have to pay him to do that?
Yes, terrible, darling. Anyways, how was the convention? Did you have fun with your Clone Wars castmates, people at the convention? And it was fun signing autographs.
Would you stop singing Why do you always sing everything to me?
I don't know, I just get excited. It's fun to talk to you, my dear. So, yes, how was the convention?
It was Planet ComicCon. It was very good. We had a very good time. But it's the beginning of the show. I haven't even had Mr. Announcer Guy come in yet and introduce the show.
Oh, let me try.
You want to introduce the show?
Yeah, let me give it a shot. Hello, it's the James Anna Taylor podcast. Talking to himself.
Talking to myself.
That's what I said.
You said himself.
Well, that's you.
I know, but the show is called Talking to... Never mind. I think we'll stick to Mr. Announcer Guy doing it.
Oh, you're such a poo, but he's good. Bring him in. Let me try.
You want to call him?
Yeah, let me see. Hey, Mr. Announcer, guys.
Oh, yes, Franklin?
He did it. Wow. Over the phone he called you in.
Yeah, man. Franklin's my agent as well.
He is?
Not really. What do you think, I'm crazy? I have a real agent.
Right.
I heard that.
Sorry, dude.
It's okay, darling.
Wait, how does he get away with it? Anyways, Mr. Announcer Guy, would you mind introducing the show so we can get on with this? Because now we got Hank here.
Yeah, I don't even know why I'm in here.
Billy's still sitting there.
Oh, yeah, don't forget my demo to Mr. Franklin.
Yeah, okay. And we got Franklin on the phone.
Hello, darling, at the convention. Did you?
All right. And Brian, his son.
Whatever, dude. Obi nobody.
Okay. and now you in here. It's getting a little crowded. Could you just introduce the show?
Yeah, dude. Cue that music, Jerry the Music Man.
You got it, Mr. Announcer Guy!
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Talking to myself, we call it the JATcast, man. On today's show, Jat's gonna tell you about his time at a convention and his time going to a convention this week.
Yeah, man.
Now, here he is, the same guy that's doing all the voices you're hearing, including this one, James Arnold Taylor!
Thanks, dude.
You got it, dude. I'm going to go now and talk to my real agent.
Okay, rub it in. Hey, there's the music, there's the show. Franklin, you still there?
Oh, yes, I like to do. It's the James Arnold Taylor podcasting podcast.
Why do you sing so much?
I feel like I missed my calling.
You should have been a singer instead of an agent.
Yes, darling, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, it probably would have been better for me.
What's that?
Nothing. Okay, well, look, the convention was great, and I have another one, right?
Yes, you're going to ICCC. 3 C's.
ICCC, and it's in Nashville.
Yes, darling.
So that's great, because that's close by.
Yes, darling.
Okay, well, it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm with Matt and Ashley. And you know who else is going to be there?
The Duchess Satine. Oh, she's a duchess. She's a crazy Duchess Satine.
All right, stop with the singing about everybody. Got a theme song for everybody. What about, what's Matt's theme?
Matt Lanter. He plays Anakin Skywalker. Oh, I made a little rhyme at the end there.
Yes, you did. And Ashley?
Ahsoka.
That's right. Okay. Well, and then do I have an Obi-Wan song?
Obi-Wan.
Thank you. Well, that's great. All right, Franklin. Yes, we had a great time. I'm going to tell some stories now about being at the convention and what's coming up in this next convention, and it's going to be a lot of fun, okay?
Okay, darling. Let me put you back on with Brian.
No, I don't need to talk to Brian.
Hello?
Why did he put me back on with you?
Well, because I'm his secretary, I need to end the call and make sure that your call was satisfactory.
Besides the parts where you kind of called me a loser and a nobody.
Yeah, those are the best parts.
No, okay. All right, Brian.
I'm going to go to Celebration and see Ewan McGregor and get my picture taken with him.
It's all right. Thank you, Brian.
Whatever, dude. See ya, Billy.
Oh, yes, Mr. Brian, sir. Can I send you my demo tape, please, sir?
Yeah, send it. I'll totally get it on there for Franklin, dude. Yeah, you're awesome, dude.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brian, sir.
Judge Brian?
Cool, Brian.
Whatever. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Cool, Brian. All right, see ya.
Would you guys... Come on, end it. I'm trying to do my show. Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. We've got quite a bit of characters here. Talking to myself. And, if you're new to the show, welcome. I always try to kind of get everybody in there, all the characters in there, because I never know if people are listening for the first time. And if you're listening to the show for the first time, like from an episode, I always say, go back and listen like from episode 1 and really take them all in so you get a real sense of what the show's about. But some people might not want to do that. They might go, you know what? This is the first and last time I'm listening. No, come on. All right, let's drink some water. If you're new to the show, that's what we do. We drink water. Oh, that's good water. We hydrate the body. We deep breathe. We practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being aware of where you are presently at the time and just letting it be. Not overthinking about things that are going to happen, that did happen, that you should have said, that you wanted to say, that you want to say, that you're all anxious about, or that you're going to do, or this, that, or the other. You're just present. You're right here. You're right now. You're with me. You're with all the characters. You're listening to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. You're deep breathing. You're collecting your thoughts. And you're like, okay, I'm here now. Whatever you're doing, if you're sitting, if you're driving, if you're walking, if you're whatever, you're listening with earpods or earbuds or listening on the computer, however you're listening to the show, be in the moment. Feel what your body's doing. I'm standing right now. I always stand when I do the show and when I do voiceover, and I feel my feet. I can think about that for a second. You think about like how your feet are sitting in your shoes and how they're standing on the ground and how it feels, and then go up your whole body, up your legs and up your torso and in your arms and your hands and your neck and just relax. Okay. And I breathe and I just relax and I'm mindful of where I am and who I am and how I am right now. And right now, everything's fine. Okay. That's what we do. Practice it as much as you can. Be prayerful as much as you can. I practice prayer because I'm a Christian and I give everything every day to God and I just try to give it up to him and I say whatever is going to be is going to be. And I'm just going to let it just, happen and trust you. And so I trust in the Lord in that. So that's what I do. So I had a super fantastic weekend. I was at Planet ComicCon, as I said. That was in Kansas City. And I went with Matt Lanter and Ashley Eckstein. And Phil Lamar was there as well. That was a pleasant surprise because Matt, Ashley, and I are all going to be doing conventions together. Now, here's the thing. Let me clarify, because some of you that follow me on social media and stuff may have seen I was going to be at ICCC, which is a convention I've gone to 2 other times before, and I will be there again this year. Ian McDiarmid, the Emperor, is going to be there. Anthony Daniels is going to be there. That's exciting. And then Anna Graves, the Duchess Satine, is going to be there with us. How cool is that? Love Anna Graves. Anna portrayed the Duchess in the Clone Wars and some other characters too. Yeah. Oh yeah. She is an amazingly talented voice actress. She can do so many voices. And she was the Kate Blanchett of the Clone Wars. And she's just fantastic. And so we will be at the convention there, all of us together. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we had a great time at Planet ComicCon as we got to go see. There's so many things I want to say and my brain's kind of going, oh, okay. So I had said I wasn't going to do any more conventions for a while because I was just kind of like, you know what? I don't really think, it's like, who cares about meeting JAT? It's like, I don't mean that to be like self-deprecating or anything. I just thought like, I don't think of it, it's like, okay. I had done some conventions in the past and it was like, okay. But then my dear friend, Matt Lanter, had some issues where he was in the hospital. He had emergency surgery and it was a scary time. And Matt and I live near each other. He lives on a hill higher than me. So I always say, you have the high ground, but which is kind of funny. So I was able to go see him and pray for him and all of that. And he is just such a fantastic human being, such a fantastic actor, and such a wonderful light and inspiration to people. And we're like brothers. So I was very concerned for my brother. And then Ashley and I were talking because, we're a family. We're all a Clone Wars family. And so when Matt was in the hospital, we were conversing. I was letting her know what was going on. And Catherine Tabor and all of us, we were all praying and talking and hoping for the best. And Ashley and I started talking about the conventions that her and Matt do because they've been doing shows together and it had been going very well. And we were like, maybe we should do some of these shows together. And so because I was going to be, because they, I invited them to come out and join me at this ICCC con and they said yes. They were kind enough to say yes. And so that was like, okay, well then maybe we should start doing some of these together. So I announce it here that yes, officially, Matt Lanter, Ashley Eckstein, and myself will be doing some conventions together over the course of this next year. So if there's conventions that you are where you are and you really want us there, I guess you need to tell the people that run the convention that you really, and then you need to get as many people as possible to tell them that you want us there, right? That's a good way to do it. Some of them, they book them way in advance, so it might be too late for this year, but think about it for the coming year and such and see if there's a convention where you're at and you're like, we really would love to have the three, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan come, well, then let them know and tell them, but like, let them really like get as many people as you can, because there's power in that then when it's like they get inundated with people saying, we want the Clone Wars actors there, then, maybe they'll go, okay, yeah. So anyways, so we were at Planet ComicCon in Kansas City, and now we're going to be at ICCC in Nashville. I always want to say IC3, right? Because it's 3 C's. I think that's kind of like, it's like IC squared. But anyways, And then we're going to be going to some other ones. I don't know if they've been announced yet, so I cannot say just yet. But there are more to come. There will be more announcements of other conventions where Matt and Ashley and myself will all be together, so you can go, and then we're seated all at tables near each other, and you can get each one of our autographs, and then we do photo ops, and you can get photos with all three of us, and that's really fun. So they I felt like the Godfather, Al Pacino in The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Hoo-ha! Because I thought, maybe I just won't do any more conventions and stuff. And then they were like, no, this is really great. And the fans are really, really just loving this and appreciating this and needing this. And Ashley was saying, they're so wonderful and they're so appreciative. And I know it would mean the world to people to get to meet you, James, and come out and say hello there. And of course, I say hello there. And so she was right. But you know what? Ahsoka's always right? That's no surprise that Ashley's right. Ashley and I got to do Star Wars weekends together for, 7 years in a row, but 5 years where I got to host with her. And she's just one of the coolest people in the world and just so wonderfully successful with her universe and the character of Ahsoka. She is Ahsoka Tano. She is the embodiment of Ahsoka. She is the original actor to portray Ahsoka Tano, and she is the voice. She is the embodiment of that character to me in every way possible. And I'm so grateful to get to work with her in this because we had so many years together working together at Star Wars weekends, and it was so fun every year. And so this is kind of like an extension of that. And then Matt, who, we're buddies, like I say, we're like brothers, and I love the guy. And so getting a chance to spend time with him, that's just a wonderful opportunity for me. So we had such a great time. Matt and I traveled together with his dad, and his dad's a great guy. And his dad helped me with my recording studio, actually, too. He had done some painting and some staining of some wood and some stuff here. And so I look at walls and doors and woodwork that he did every day. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. So thanks to Matt's dad, Joe, who's just a fantastic man as well. So I'm just surrounded by beautiful, wonderful people. And so we had a great time at this convention. We got to see our dear friend Tom Kane. And now Tom is the voice of Yoda, as well as the voice of the announcer on the Clone Wars, the one that comes on and, Crisis on Ryloth, and all that. Tom, for those of you that do not know, had a stroke about a year and a half or so ago now, I think it has been, and has had to retire from voiceover. And that is heartbreaking, and it's just heartbreaking. But he is a wonderful human being as well. And we got to spend time. We went to his house. We got to spend time with him and his family, and it just had a great time. And it was so good to see him. And Phil Lamar was with us. Now, Phil is one of the most talented voice actors on the planet. Really is. Phil Lamar is underrated as a voice actor because he can do pretty much any voice. And I think, people forget that it's Phil because he's done his job right. Like you go, well, I didn't know that was Phil Lamar. Well, that was. So, he's Kit Fisto, he's Bail Organa, he's been many other characters in the Clone Wars with us. And so we had a great time. We had a Star Wars Clone Wars panel that was at Kansas City ComicCon, Planet ComicCon, where the four of us got up there and we just got to answer questions, and it was just so fun, and it was funny. And Ming from the show Comic Book Men, Ming was our moderator, and I really like Ming, and I'm a fan of Comic Book Men, the Kevin Smith show, so that was fun. It's on AMC, check that out, it's fun. And so we just had a great time. And then I got to do my stage show at this show, and it was the first time I had done my stage show in several years because of the whole, lockdown stuff. So that was amazing. And I did a bunch of new material in the show, which was pretty cool. Because here's the other thing about that. I had to change a lot of stuff because of the way the world has changed, which, if you want my real opinion, kind of lame. Some of it's kind of lame, but so I didn't do the piece at the end of my show where I go through all the voices. I didn't do it. You know why? Because some of those voices, I'm like, can I not do those voices anymore? Have they been canceled? Is it inappropriate? Because that's how stupid some of this cancel stuff is. And so, look, I got to tell you, I think that we got to put an end to all that. But anyway, so I'm reworking similar voices. That's what I call that end bit where I do all the voices. I'm reworking it, reanimating it, going to do some new versions of it, add some new voices. Because here's the other thing. Some of it is just outdated. Like some people just go, I just don't know who that voice is that he's doing. Oh, does he sound? Oh, sure, he sounds good, but who is it? That's my my little prayer up there. And God bless to Gilbert Godfrey, who passed away just about a week and a half ago now, and sadly. And God bless Gilbert Godfrey. I got to work with him in Animal Crackers, and I did some of his voice doubling and through the years and such as well. So love Gilbert Godfrey. God bless him. I pray that he's resting well with the Lord. So, and then it was like things like that, like voices of people that have recently passed or something. And it's like, I don't want to seem disrespectful. So I haven't done that bit, similar voices, the one that's on my YouTube where you see it's got like 6 million hits or something like that. I didn't do that one last week. I don't think I'll do it this week either because I still need to edit it and make a new version of it. But I did the rest of the show, and the show was about an hour, and then I took about 15 minutes with Q&A with everybody, which was a lot of fun. We had some wonderful people that came up. In fact, I want to give a shout out to one of the folks at the convention, one of the guests that came up to my table. Her name was Abby. Abby, if you're listening, I think you do listen to my podcast, so I want to say thank you. And she had me sign her Bible, which I was really honored with. And I was also like, oh boy, I hope that's okay, writing. But see, my Bible is like a notebook. I write all over in it. I have all sorts of notes and things. And so it's very special to me. Your Bible should be one of the most special things in the world to you because it holds the Word of God, but it also can hold your thoughts and things because you should write notes in there. You should highlight things. People would think, oh, you shouldn't write in a Bible. No. I have Bibles that I've highlighted stuff. I've circled things. I've starred things. I write notes in it. And so I was really deeply honored to get to sign Abby's Bible. And she came up and she told me, just about her life and some personal stories and how the podcast or what I do meant a lot to her. And so I just give Abby a shout out. Then she asked me a question at my show when I did my show talking to myself, and we did the Q&A, and she asked me what biblical characters would I want to play if I ever got to do that. And, I've actually played many times in many different animated biblical cartoons and things. And I've voiced Jesus. I've voiced the enemy. I've voiced Joseph. I forgot to tell you, Abby, that Joseph was in one of them where I got to voice him. And I was really blessed to voice Joseph. Joseph was, of course, the earthly father of Jesus. And, kind of a neat character there. And so, but Peter, I voiced Peter. I really like that. So, but I also thought, here's the answer, Abby. I thought about this a lot afterwards. And I think Daniel would be a cool character to voice because what a story Daniel had. For those of you that don't know the Bible, Daniel lived in Babylon and he was, just a devoted follower of God. He was a Jew that was devoted to the Lord. And he lived in a place that there was no belief in God. Sounds a little familiar to me, living in Hollywood all those years. But and he would open his windows every day, get on his knees, and pray to God. And people didn't like it. They didn't like it. And so I thought, boy, and then he was thrown in the lion's den, and the Lord protected him. And the king, I love that the king was like, couldn't sleep all night and was like, Daniel, did you survive? Are you there? And then we hear Daniel through the wall, I'm here, and I like always picture him just like hanging out with the lions, petting the lions or whatever, because the Lord closed the lion's mouth and did not have them, eat Daniel, which is amazing. And then he was with his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they were thrown in the fire and they didn't burn. And so anyways, I think Daniel's an amazing biblical character that I would love to provide the voice for at some point. I think that they should do a movie about Daniel. I think it'd be really cool. So anyways, so there's my answer. But anyways, people like Abby and her dear friends that were there with her, and my shout out to all of them and to all the amazing people that came to Kansas City Planet ComicCon and that I got to meet and just say hello there too. Thank you all so much. It was such a great time. We had so many wonderful things and so many wonderful stories and people coming up, and so many of you that came up that served in the military, and our family members served in the military, and I get to say thank you and look you in the eye and shake your hand and say, God bless you. Thank you for your service, because without you, I don't have the freedoms that I have, because I know that so many people sacrifice so I can sit in my little padded room and talk to myself. What a blessing. If you are in America and you know someone that is in the military, please give them a thank you. Give them a salute, a thank you. I mean, because the freedoms that we have because of what they have done is outstanding. And so I just applaud you all. And I'm always thrilled to have folks that have served come up to the table and say hello there. So a wonderful time. And we're going to have a wonderful time this week at ICCC here in Nashville. And that's just going to be fun. I'll get to see my friend Ian McDermott, who I've not seen in a couple of years. I saw him at Celebration, the last Celebration. A lot of people asking me about Celebration. As far as I know, I have not been invited to Celebration, so I will not be at Celebration. I guess I'm like a vampire. I need to be invited in order to come to something. No. But so I will not be at Celebration as far as I know. Now, look, by the time this comes out, I guess that could change, but I don't see it changing. But if I got invited, then I would have to weigh that. And, I know that then I would be with my friends Matt and Ashley, and I believe D. Bradley Baker's going to be there. But would I like to go? I would love to be with my friends. I would love to be with Star Wars fans. But I moved out of California, and I'm not dying to go back. So I'll just be honest. I'm not dying to go back there anytime soon. So, but if I got invited to go, I would visit friends like my dear friend Tom Wilson, who is still out there, and I would say hello there to him and get some time with him and visit some friends, I suppose. But we'll just see. I'm not always invited to every convention, and I don't expect to be invited to every convention. So if I'm not at Celebration, I'm not at Celebration. But all of you that are going, I hope you have a wonderful time. Please enjoy yourselves. Have a good time. That has been the most wonderful part of it all, is getting to see all these bodies together. And I know some people are a little afraid of that now. You know what? I really deeply, deeply want you to hear me, okay? We can't live in fear, okay? I know the world has gotten so divided, and we have those that feel this way and those that feel that way. We can't do this anymore. We have to just go, you know what? Each person is entitled to their opinion and their belief system and the way that they're going to live. And we have to let each other live that way. And so to see people at conventions again and to see everybody out there together and having a good time, we need that. We need that. And look, I know people have been affected by this virus. I was affected by it. I lost my father to it, okay? So the man that I grew up knowing as my father passed away from it. And that was devastating. He was in a home and, was not able to be seen by his family. So, I think we've had enough of all of the isolation. So it's good for all of us to have community. So it's very good. I'm looking forward to spending more time with everybody at this next convention and having a good time and getting out there and saying hello there to everyone. My voice, you can hear, is a little scratchy because when I travel, it's hard for me to travel. I've mentioned this before. It's hard for my ears, and it's hard on my body to travel. It's hard on anybody's body. But being in conventions, that's the only thing about conventions is the air quality is usually pretty, air conditioning and all of that. And so it's dry. It's very dry in convention halls. And so I end up kind of not losing my voice, but I get this kind of, like that. So that's the only downside to it. But this next week is in a hotel, which might be a little different. So I might not have to deal with that as much. So my voice is a little scratchy right now. But it was worth it to get time with Matt and Ashley and Phil Lamar. And then Matt and Phil came to my show, which was so sweet of them. Ashley couldn't, you know why? Because Ashley had lines literally like out the door for her all day, every day. And here's what I'll say about Ashley Eckstein. She stayed until every last autograph was signed. She would stay until, the convention was done. It was closed for at least an hour and a half. And she'd still be there signing autographs. She made sure that everybody in her line got those autographs. God bless her. What an amazing person she is. And so I know that if you've had an experience with Ashley Eckstein, you know that that's been a special time because she spends time with everybody too. And she's just fantastic at that. So, but Matt and Phil came to the show, and then we all went afterwards and saw Tom Kane and his family, and we just had a great time. And Ashley's husband, David Eckstein, is one of the most humble and amazing people as well, because here he is, MVP of the World Series, mind you, And I mean, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, I think, honestly, and such an inspiration to so many people. And he's just hanging out, helping his wife at a convention, taking pictures, getting little videos for Instagram and such, and just being there. I mean, they are an amazing couple. And I love what they do. I love their ministry. I see it as a ministry. I see what I do going to these conventions as a ministry, being able to see people, engage people, make people smile, make people laugh, give them a little something. That's what I would call ministry. That's me being there for you. And that's why Ashley used the Jedi mind trick. No Jedi mind trick required to, convince me to take a chance and go back out there and start doing conventions. So I had said I wasn't going to do any more, but I'm back, baby. And I'm doing more conventions. And so I will be seeing some of you at them. Now, I don't think I will be traveling anywhere outside of the United States anytime soon for, reasons that it's probably obvious to you. But that's harder travel to do these days, especially for some of us more than others. So, but I hope that they make travel international easier for everybody soon enough. And then I can go because, boy, I loved going places like Ireland and England, Japan. In the past, I've traveled the world there, done my stage show in these places and performed and signed autographs and got to meet people and photos. And I loved that. So I hope at some point that the world changes again. And like Australia, boy, I never got to go to Australia and I was invited and then we didn't get to make that happen. So maybe someday those opportunities will allow themselves again. For those of you that pray hard. Pray hard that God comes in and helps us out in this world right now because, we're all trying to get back to normal. I'll just say that. I hope we just get back to some semblance of normal. But please pray. If you're someone that prays, pray hard and say, God, we're open to hear you. All right. But anyways, such a good time. Wanted to give you an update, let you know what's going on, but I do need to get ready still. I have to go buy some more paint pens to sign autographs. I've got to go get a couple of other things for this convention. It's going to be a lot of fun. My family's going to be able to join me. And so there you go. A lot going on. My buddy Matthew Buds will be there joining me as well. And maybe we'll get to talk a bit about our movie, The Comic Shop, while there and kind of get people into that. So, The Comic Shop is kind of on a standstill right now. We pitched it to some movie companies. We have not heard back from any of them, which is a disappointment, except for one. And we're kind of kicking around the idea there. But I won't make any big announcements yet with that. But there was one that is somewhat interested, but they don't necessarily have the budget for it. So we're trying to kind of see what we can do. But if we can get a budget... we've talked about maybe looking at the fan, the Kickstarter type route, but I just really don't want to make people have to, kick in. Although a lot of people look at it this way, look, I give some money here and I know that I probably won't get that money back, but I get my name in a movie and I get to be kind of a part of a film and in that way. And if enough people came together and did it, then I suppose. So people are kind of, talking about that. And it's like, okay, that's a way to go. But the movie, The Comic Shop that I've written with my friend Matthew Buds, we are still, we're kind of on hold right now. We were really hoping to be able to shoot it this summer, but to shoot it on our own, it's a very big production because we have about 15, 16 actors involved. And, we want to make sure everybody gets paid a little something. We need a, cameraman. And I was going to have my friend Alexander Stevens come out and shoot it, but that would cost, and we need to be able to have the money to pay to bring him out here and shoot it and stuff because he doesn't live here. So there's just expenses that go along with making a movie that at this point, we don't want to have to pull out of our own savings to do it because, right now, especially the way the world is, it's that would be kind of a gamble. So we're hoping to find some investors in it, and that's where we're at. But for now, the movie is kind of on hold until otherwise, something happens. So I guess so there's an update on that. Still would love to make it at some point. Working on some other scripts and things too. But in the meantime, I'll be doing some conventions and, getting to see everybody. So I hope to get to meet some of you. I hope I met some of you at the last week's convention. I hope to meet some of you this week and further on as we have some more announced. But there it is. There we are. It is James Arnold Taylor's talking to myself. I think we should bring in Mr. Announcer Guy, do the legal mumbo jumbo. Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy!
Yeah, dude.
Did you talk to your agent?
Yeah, man.
Everything good?
Yeah, dude, I'm booked for a bunch of stuff.
Wow, I wish I was.
Yeah, man, you don't have as good of an agent.
Okay. All right. You ready to do the legal mumbo jumbo?
Yeah, my agent said I could.
All right, good. Go for it.
Talking to Myself, the James Arnold Taylor podcast is a production of Yumigo Inc., recorded at JAT Studios. Engineered, written, recorded, and produced by, you guessed it, James Arnold Taylor. All voices are parody and should be construed as entertainment only. All music and sound effects used with permissions and licenses through Backtracks, Digital Juice, Production Tracks, and Partners in Rhyme. James Arnold Taylor's Talking to Myself, the podcast. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking forward to seeing you at more conventions.
Thank you. Me too. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining me here, hearing some of my stories. I'll have more. I'll come back soon. We'll do some longer ones. I'll tell some more stories. This was a shorter episode, but I just wanted to give you some insight on what's going on in the world of JAT and talk about the shows and the conventions and all the fun stuff that we're doing. And that, yes, you can change your mind in life, okay? That's the other message of this episode. It's okay to change your mind. Just be honest with yourself and others and say, yeah, I was wrong. I thought, it wouldn't be one of those things that I'd be doing, and here I am. I'm doing it. So it will be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see you all. And my thanks to all of the folks that have come out to see us. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. So I will say goodbye there. Goodbye.